Hi, this is Dave. Today I'm going to show you how I eat food that I love for very little money when I go camping. By camping, I mean staying at my off-grid cabin in northern Michigan. When I choose meals, I look for price, ease of preparation, no need for refrigeration, and of course, it needs to taste good. Let's start with breakfast. I buy a box of cereal at Aldi for $1.95. I eat it directly from the box, and one box lasts me about 4 days. That means breakfast is 49 cents per day. Lunch is these noodle things that I buy at Meijer. One of these is lunch. This is my favorite, with shrimp. I get variety by sometimes eating the ones with beef. Lunch is 69 cents per day. I heat water in my Jetboil, pour it into this, and 4 minutes later, I have lunch. I have different things for supper on different nights. Here I have a can of pork and beans. One can of pork and beans is supper. It's 91 cents. After all of those beans, my apologies to the birds and squirrels and other woodland creatures. This is another supper. It's chili. I'm blowing the budget here by spending $1.99 for supper. This is my most elaborate, corned beef hash. It's a big price tag at $2.69. But if you're going to have a super special supper, it's going to cost the big bucks. Now a demonstration of how I cook my canned suppers in my Jetboil. So here's how I go about cooking dinner. What is dinner? Well, tonight it's corned beef hash. Not corned beef hash plus this plus that, just corned beef hash. One can of corned beef hash is perfect for me. The first thing I need to do is, of course, open it. Now, a lot of people would find an actual, real professional can opener, but I always use my Swiss Army knife. It's never failed me. It takes a little while, but it always makes it. A lot of can openers don't actually open cans. So when you buy a can opener, you never know whether it's one that's really going to open a can or whether it's one of those that says it's a can opener, but it doesn't actually open cans. But so far, my Swiss Army knife has always opened my cans. A little bit of patience, a little bit of work, and there we go. Now, I used to bring soup, and I would take the can of soup and put it directly on the flame. And then I found out that when you do that, there's some plastic coating inside the can that ends up inside of you, and I don't want that. So now, I use my Jetboil. It's actually a Jetboil. It's not really a Jetboil. It's a cheap knockoff of a Jetboil, which is fine because it works great. And I bring from home a nice big spoon and a nice big fork. With the corned beef hash, I think I'm going to go with the spoon. Been a while since I did this, so I can't remember what I usually use. So take the corned beef hash out of the can. Put it into my Jetboil. And then there's a very specific technique to cooking things like this with the Jetboil. Because the Jetboil has some very concentrated, intense heat in one little spot. And so I will demonstrate how I deal with that without just burning all my corned beef hash to the bottom of my container here. Okay, got my corned beef hash and the Jetboil. Now, I have to see which one of these still has some propane in it. This one, I think the last time I was up here didn't work, but it had been out in the really cold weather for a while. And so I think the propane might have just been kind of stuck in the bottom. Let's see if this one has anything in it. Nope, it's bad. It's empty. Needs to go home with me. So we'll try this one. Yeah. Got this nice little spoiler thing. Okay, so the deal is with cooking with a Jeff oil or something like this, you have to stir from the second you put it on there until it's done, and never stop stirring. Put it down here, and I start stirring it. And make sure that I keep scraping it off from the bottom so it doesn't get cooked baked onto the bottom. It really doesn't take very long to cook a can of corned beef hash or anything else in something like this. That's why I can do this live. You see, get a little steam there. As you can see the way I can see, you can see that it's softening up. As it gets warm, it gets softer, kind of liquidy. Just a very quick taste tester. Another few seconds so to do it. Okay. And it's done. And it's all ready to go. And I'm ready to enjoy my meal, corned beef hash. And that's how it's done. And finally, my late night snack. Well, I've done my tasks for today. Did some work around the cabin. Have a lot more work to do tomorrow. Had supper. Took a walk after supper. Now it's time for my evening routine. Way in my day. Well, I'll call my wife later, but in the meantime, kick back and enjoy an energy bar and a can of Mountain Dew. I know a lot of other people would say, oh, I'm going to have this favorite craft beer or this special glass of wine or this elaborate cup of coffee that I come up with. Well, for me, just a can of Mountain Dew and an energy bar. I read a book, give my wife a call, and that's my evening. That's today's video. Please come back for more.